can do it. Maybe not as well as these two, but this is 30-year-old Norm Duke. His best this year was 8th in Reno. Winner of an ESPY. Not long ago. Looked off to his right. Once take the crossover, I don't think he had a chance. He thought that he didn't have a chance, but which Soper's marked the next up there on our score sheet. Boulder A. He is mic'd for sound. So let's see how he'll shoot the 2-pin after the light hit. Here's a replay. He may have slipped a little bit. No alibis for this guy, though, I'll tell you. 2-time player of the year. So it's a strike and a spare, and Walter Ray, disgusted, will move over to the left. Country Club Lanes, 40 lanes. Owned by Dennis Baldwin. Prominent figure in the bowling industry for a long time.
That's not very good.
I agree. Seems like he's rushing his shots a little bit here. So now he'll have to try to cover the 3-6. High hit result. Ooh. Oh. Chops the 3 off the 6. Watch.
That's pretty good.
Close counts only in horseshoes, which he excels at as well. Now Norm Duke. With that double, he's on top. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Mark Williams, very entertaining first match. Somebody had to lose, and it was you. Did you wear out Walter Ray?
Well, I obviously didn't wear him out. I was one shot away, though. I was really undecided starting the match which ball to throw. I think I picked the right one. 246 is a pretty good score, but Walter Ray's really tough.
How about these two guys, number 1 and 2? Pick a winner. Although Duke's off to a quick lead, can Walter come back?
Well, Walter can come back. He's been bowler of the year twice, and it helps to get a game under your belt. Norm's a little shaky the first frame, made a real good shot in the second frame, but it'll be a good match, I think.
All right, back to you, Chris.
3-bagger for Norm Duke, whose high game this week was 278, low game 162, finished 3rd. 39th TV appearance. Now 35-year-old Walter Ray Williams. And the graduate, Cal Poly, still trying to get that strike. He had 9 in his 247 win over Mark Williams, 246.
Chris, Walter just can't get on track right now. Had a little delay, maybe used up a lot of energy in that first game. And Mark Williams told me on the side during that break that this right-hand lane hangs a little bit, as you see the 10-pin, and the left-hand lane hooks a little too much. So it's up to Walter to get untracked and really start coming from behind here.
How do you whip a hang?
Well, how you whip a hang, Scott, it's very common in the sport of bowling. Chris, you can do a couple of things. You can throw the ball a little bit slower. That's what Williams decided to do, although he didn't win the first match. Mark Williams, that is. Or you can go a little straighter towards the pocket.
Okay.
Walter will make a decision. You know what could have happened to him, Chris? And often happens when you get keyed up for one match. He played both lanes the same and just threw superior shots and didn't recognize that the left-hand lane's hooking a little more than the right. Now he's slightly confused, and Norm Duke has the edge.
All right, we're in our second game. Numbers 1 and 2, ranked in the world, Norm Duke and Walter Ray Williams. We'll be back with the number 3 player. After 42 games, Norm Duke has 3 in a row, 4th frame. So now he leads by 44 with the great Walter Ray Williams. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Dave Traber, you had a good week, but are you at all intimidated about the prospect of either bowling the number 1 player in the world or the number 2?
No, that doesn't affect me. As long as it's not my brother, that's all I'm hoping for this time, and I know it's not, so... I look forward to bowling good in this match. It's going to be a tough one, but I'll enjoy it.
All right, Chris. He said he's bowling the best he has all year long. Let's see what happens in the semifinal, but a lot left in this one.
at that. 5-bagger. 5-bagger for Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams. Spare, open frame, spare, spare. Now in the 5th, trailing by 54.
Come on.
Let's listen. All right, graduate in physics, Cal Poly. So there's another spare.
Asking for one of his 2 allotted re-racks in any championship match. Right now he has to get on track. He's probably taking that re-rack just for a little pause, a little 20-second timeout, because he has struggled. He has not been around the pocket here in the first 5 frames, and he trails the #1 player in the world, actually the man he's chasing, by 55 pins.
Look at that, Dave down Tremont. The halfway point of our winter tour, 86,000. Scott Alexander won PBA last week. Just Stewart, Spalding, Houston. Finally, in the 6th frame, Walter Ray pats himself in the back. Good job.
Norm Duke has struggled all week long with getting his bowling balls to feel comfortably in his thumb. I watched him last night. He fiddled with the tape. Take a piece in, take a piece out. What he actually does is put tape underneath a cork gripper to fill up the hole, make it solid. Now, you don't want it too tight, but you want to just be able to hold it smoothly. Well, we're looking at the #1 player in the world, and I'll just show you what it looks like. 6-step delivery, 6.5, a little shuttle step, all rhythm. He's paid his dues. He's bowled all over the world against the best for years, and he just has everything in perfect position. Watch the key of the left arm pulling back as he drives through and squares his shoulders directly up to the target on balance in the line. And Chris, he's halfway for $100,000.
AC Delco has put up the challenge. He needs 6 more.
Tightening that thumb hole once again. You don't want it so tight you feel like you're going to hang in it, but you don't want to squeeze it.
Frank Golan in Detroit is probably saying, go get it. AC Delco. 4, 7, 10.
Well, Duke goes right through the middle there. As you see right here, ball going there. He wants to set up, cuts through the middle. Ouch. Now, he can make that. He can slide that 6 over in the 7, but he's looking at the scoreboard. Should he go for 9? And he just might, because of the match game situation. That's exactly what he did, Chris. Right now, he's the 235 pace. That's the best Walter can bowl.
Walter defeated Mark Williams, 247, 246 previously. We'll be back. Frank Forkel. You'll see him in the last game for the Greater Baltimore Open Championship. Taking a practice shot, Walter Ray Williams holding up here on the right lane. Walter Ray needs a strike here in the worst way.
If I've observed one thing about Walter over his decade of bowling out here in the Pro Bowlers Tour, Chris, is he's most dangerous when he's behind. And it looked like he had an insurmountable lead when Norm Duke stood up there in the 7th frame with 6 in a row. However, that lead, as Duke continues to fiddle with his thumb hole, has been cut down to just 40. And it's a possibility that if Walter takes it off the sheet 235, they'll be all squared up.
Even though he lost his balance, nearly fell over the line. What an athlete. He is 6'2", 180 pounds.
What he does when he first wakes up in the morning, Chris, 50 push-ups right out of the chute, strong as they can be. Now let's see if Norm Duke, the #1 dude, can recoup.
5'5" and 123. Coming up next on ABC's Wide Roller Sports, Paul Wiley, Victor Petrenko, and Kurt Browning heat up the ice in Japan. It's the men's competition at the Fresh Look World Challenge of Champions. Then it's on to Colorado for World Cup snowboarding. And off to France for freestyle skiing. It's coming up next here on ABC's Wide World of Sports, which we've enjoyed being the lead-in show for all these years.
Yes, we have, Chris.
Infinite variety of sports, eh?
You bet. Norm Duke going with a straight shot. Look at this, straight up the lane. You don't even have to do anything like this. He's just simple shot, letting the lane do the work, and he can retake a 50-pin lead with a strike.
And he leads 3-6. 5-5, 123.
Nothing is more unnerving than not having that thumb hole feel good at the bottom of the swing. Here Duke tries to go straight up the back of the ball, gets a little tug on it, and as we said, the left-hand lane hooks a pinch more, and this has become a very interesting match. Duke going at 235 pace, Walter Ray off the sheet, it would be 235.
You know, just a couple of weeks ago, these two professionals were at Radio City Music Hall as ESPN presented their ESPY Awards. And John Goodman, the host, made some great comments about bowling. Norm winning the ESPY earlier in the evening.
Well, the stage is set now, partner. And right now, Walter Ray has come from the depths to have a chance to get right back in this match. Another strike here, he'll force Duke to mark. A double in the 10th, the match will be even. The two best in the world, one had a big lead, the other coming from behind. It's all down to the 10th.
Come on, baby, come on, yes.
Love those wireless mics.
Great players throw their best shots in the clutch. That was Walter's best shot. Right now, he can square this match up as a nervous Duke looks away. Boy, that's tough when you get caught from behind.
You know, with his 15 titles, this man has finished second 22 times.
Well, Chris, right now, this is a big match for Walter. Not so much the title. He's playing against the guy that took his #1 ranking away. And he set up a situation right now that whatever Walter does, he forces Duke to do. If Walter strikes on this shot, then Duke must strike spare to tie. All right, that forces Duke to strike on the first ball. 2 strikes to win. And you know what? Walter Ray just tapped Duke on the back with a message, just go do your best. And that's good sportsmanship. It comes down to right here, Duke needs at least 1.
Remember, Walter Ray didn't get his first strike until the 6th frame and then strikes out.
He was trailing by 65 pins. Now his opponent needs this strike. If he doesn't strike, he loses. Needs this one. Oh!
Another 9 on the right lane.
Chris, that costs us a match. Norm Duke loses this match by 1 pin.
He opened with 6 in a row. Look at that. They're just reverse situation. Open with 6, he closes with.
Yeah, but this shouldn't happen, partner. Not when you throw it. You're the best in the world. You throw your best shot for all the weed, as we say out here, and he gets 9.
We've had how many before?
Unbelievable.
The first match we had 3 or 4.
Yep, solid 9.
On the right lane. That is a disappointment. Oof.
You talk about entertaining matches. That first one, 246 to 247. This one's going to be 235 to 234. But what a comeback.
Yeah, Doug, a big
Walter Ray's always been known as more dangerous when he's behind, and he proved it here. One
Another
stick.
quick match. And then also performance by both tonight. Like and subscribe.